Wow, this is hard to believe. This panel's been sitting out in the weather here, and you look at how much rust has begun where the feather tests were. See, the bottom one is the east one. This is the MP170. Here's the Keystone 850. Look how where the paint just chipped away, it just rusted right up because it didn't stick. And the Rust-Oleum, which in actuality, the Rust-Oleum has less rust than all of the other products. Got out my 220 cable right there, so I can now unplug the compressor and run this cable around out into the breezeway, and the compressor can be out there, get rid of the noise and the dirt that it causes. Put up the 4 extra lights there to get rid of the shadows caused by these lights and the shadow from that rail, you know, those rails. And other than that, I'm just sort of cleaning up and getting things ready for paint. We're going to have some decent weather in a couple of days, so that way I can paint all that stuff. Here we go again. Welcome to Don's Manufactory. Well, been feeling better for the last couple of days, so I decided to get out here and get some work done. So as you can see, I've been painting pieces and everything looks pretty good. It's been shot with epoxy, and I just got through putting the high build on. I'll give you some close-ups of this stuff here later on, but right now everything's pretty tender, and I got the heat cranked up to 80 degrees, and I'm still venting and then letting the garage reheat, and then vent and let the garage reheat until it doesn't smell so bad in here. So just got through shooting epoxy on the parts, front side, back side, all sides. It's like a jungle of epoxy parts hanging out. Well, this is the quarter extension that was welded, and it looks really good. I mean, it just looks factory original. These two, this is the one that was welded right here, and this is the one that wasn't welded. Not a whole lot of difference between them. There's a little bit. There's the rock guard. Now these do not have primer on the underside yet. And this is the balance. Looks pretty good, I think. There's the lower grill filler. These look really good. This one has some little pits I'm going to have to fill in. And then, of course, the driving light parts. Come back in and put stuff away for the night. Anyway, that's all that's been going on. It's just paint work. Stuff looks really good. I'm extremely happy. Welcome to Don's Manufactory. Shooting the back side of stuff today, the valance and the rock guard. I fixed those little pits in the top of this here headlight bucket. Actually, it's the underside of the headlight bucket. And I actually didn't get enough primer on the top of this quarter extension, so I hung it right side up this time so it would be easier to see. And I sanded it and recoated it. So that takes care of all of these incidental parts. If I had color, I could sand these and start painting color, but I don't. I'm still testing positive for COVID
So I'm still in quarantine. The PPG store that's close to me, they closed. They're going to be opening another store out in Gresham, which is 20 miles away. Or I can go to Tualatin, which is still open, and that's only 25 miles away. So that's what happened is my local source is dried up. I changed my setup on my gun. One thing I was getting annoyed at was I was getting too much stuff piled up on the end of this gun. You know, you get the regulator and a filter, and you know, it's sticking out of the gun this far, and I just decided I didn't like that. So what I ended up doing is taking one of my whip hoses here, and I put the filter and the regulator, and this is a real regulator, not a restrictor. So that way, see, I can figure out what pressure works real good with the gun, set it down here, and then I'm good. So what I'm doing is running it up over the back of my head like so. So now, as I'm painting, this stuff just stays out of my way up here on my shoulder. And I can paint. This is real flexible. Works really good. Just tried it on all this stuff. I kind of like it. It's okay. I like it better than adding all the weight to the gun. This gun gets pretty dang heavy. This is a Master Pro series that Barry was talking about. Oh, this is a Master Pro 44. It does have a little extra trigger pull tension. And I actually do not like it as well as my Cobalt. The problem with my Cobalt is I only have one tip for it, and it's a 1.5. And I've got a 1.3 for the Master Pro, so I've been using that to shoot the thinner coatings and still get enough atomization. So it limits the amount of paint that comes out, but I still get a really good pattern with atomization. I took the diffuser off the furnace and I made this little filter for it. The idea is I'm filtering the output of the furnace so that it captures any dirt that the furnace might be putting out. It's hard to keep the inside of the furnace perfectly clean. I did service it, cleaned it all up and everything, but I decided I would do this. What this does also is it takes the velocity out of it. So instead of having a big rush of air coming out that scoops up dirt off the floor and blows it all around, this slows down so there's no velocity. So it pretty much is just, the hot air is just sort of coming out of it, and it heats the garage with convection instead of blowing it around. It really made a difference. I mean, there's absolutely nothing in these painted parts. They are absolutely spotless for crud. So basically, all I have to do is clip this onto the furnace. Just like that. After everything has flashed off, so that none of the dirt will stick in it if any gets out, then I go ahead and remove it, and then I crank the heater up to like 85 degrees and bake all the paint in the room. So that's my deal. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.